Hey guys, and welcome back. We are going to do difference of squares today. So this is similar to X method, you're just missing the B. And I mean the X method that we just learned, not the first one. So there are two different ways to do this. However, if you don't understand the second way, then cool, just do X method. I would prefer it anyways because you'll do all your steps and you won't miss anything. So steps, make sure the problem is in the form of ax squared minus c. If it has a plus in between, this is not going to work. If it has a, b, and c, you just need to use X method. Like you can't use this unless it looks like this, ax squared minus c. So use X method where b is 0, or take the square root of all three parts, which I'll show you what I mean in a second. So we're only going to do one example because this is, if you don't really get the second way that I'm going to show you, then you're just going to have to use X method, and you can go back and watch that video. So X method, first thing, A, B, and C, 9, 0, negative 121. Draw your X, A times C go on top, B goes on bottom. So 9 times 1, negative 121, and 0 on bottom. 9 times negative 121 is negative 1089. Since I know that I need to get a sum of 0, that means I need the same number on both sides. One needs to be negative and one needs to be positive. So really, you can just take the square root of that number, 1089, and you would get 33. So I know negative 33 times positive 33 is 0, and it also multiplies to give me negative 1089. So we have that, but remember, last step for X method, I need to divide by A. So A was 9, so I'm going to divide both of these by 9. So I can see that I'm not going to get a whole number. However, I can simplify both by 3, and I end up with 11 thirds. So 11 thirds is what I would end up with on both. Remember, the denominator needs to go next to the x, and then you leave the numerator with the sign right where it is. So 3x minus 11, 3x plus 11. So that is one way to do this, which you should kind of already know how to do. We just didn't really use where b was 0. We've had all three parts before, so it may be a little confusing. However, since this is in the form ax squared minus c, and I know 9 and 121 are perfect square roots, so that's the thing. If you don't know your perfect square roots, this may be a little tricky. I can actually just take the square root of everything and end up with the same thing. So 9x squared minus 121, I'm actually going to write my factors out. I know that I want an x in both. However, I'm missing some numbers. So square root of 9 is 3, so I'm going to put a 3 here. And I'm going to put a 3 here, because 3 times 3 would be 9. Square root of x squared is x. I have an x in both. And then I just take the square root of 121, which is 11. So 11 and 11. And that's it. I ended up with the same thing. So if you know your square roots, this will be an easy way of doing this. Remember, it only works if they're in the form ax squared minus c. If I would have had 9x squared plus 121, that actually would have been prime. That would mean that I can't factor at all. But in this case, since it was a minus sign and I know the square root of 9 is 3, I also know the square root of 121 is 11. This is just a perfect square, and I just found the difference of squares. And that is it. So good luck. Tomorrow's our last video, and then test next week. So good luck.